Obviously, Monica's under the table at this point. The bright red face.
Hold on. Okay. It's Mike's fourth speech. And it's how to say it. Words are powerful. I don't have to read that, right?
No.
His objectives are: select the right words and sentences structure to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas. Eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you very much for that beautiful elucidation there, Monica. Thank you very much for everyone for coming out and listening to my speech here. It's called Welcome to the 1%. Now, this is a story about my first marathon. I talked to George a little bit ago, last meeting about this. I ran my first marathon on November 21st, 2014, so just a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to come in and tell you guys a little bit about it because it's still fresh in my mind. The one thing I wanted to bring with me, a little piece so you guys could see and get a feel of a tangible item. I brought my medal with me and also it's a foil blanket that they give you at the end of the races. When it gets a little bit cold, it helps. It's like those space blankets, if you will. Forgot to bring that. I left it at my desk. But if you can imagine, it's a pretty heavy, the size of the medal, it's a pretty heavy medal, about this size. Goes around your neck. That could come later on. I consider myself a pretty average athlete. I like doing all those challenging runs, anything from 5Ks to tough mudders to half marathons. I've done it all, so I think I can take on the world. Well, a marathon was the one race that really brought me to my knees. It really humbled me and taught me exactly my limits and how far I could push myself. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I first decided, well, I was told that I was going to be running a marathon when my girlfriend, who's an average athlete with an above average bucket list, decided we were going to run a marathon. 6 months before we signed up and everything's going great. Training's okay, it's going pretty well, and just slow at first. 2 months before the race, she decides my race training isn't up to par. I'm not going to run. You can't cancel if you've already, and this is the Philly Marathon, so if you book a room, you have to book 2 nights and you can't cancel. It's part of their policy. So I decided I'm not going to waste the money. I paid all this money. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So she's going to come with me and support me. So now I'm running a race that I never intended to do in the first place. Fine. I'm stubborn. I accept the challenge. If I have any suggestion or advice to anyone who wants to try a marathon, I don't know how many people have, but the right diet, the time, and the dedication is really what you need. Doing the rest of it is easy. You have to have that dedication. That's number one. The hardest part for me was getting on a treadmill and running for 3.5 to 4 hours straight. The training program involving eating is pretty easy. Carbo load. This is great. I'm going to eat all the pizza and pasta and everything that I want. Lots of protein, lots of pasta. Fine. As I'm getting closer to the race, you have to start upping your mileage. It starts out with you kind of keep it staggered, so you'll do like maybe 30 miles a week, and your long runs will be on Sunday or Monday. Well, I got to the point where my longest distance was 18 miles on a treadmill. That's a long time. A 5K usually takes someone like 20 to 30 minutes. It's 3.5 hours to do 18 miles on a treadmill. Very boring, and you're still 3/4 of the way, not even close to finishing yet. Have some problems with my knees, but that's okay. I figure I'm just going to go ahead and push through the pain. Fast forward. Now, we're in Philadelphia. I'm going to go ahead and set the stage for you guys. If you can imagine, it's 5 a.m. It's race morning. I'm physically fit. I'm ready to go. I have my diet. I'm scared to death. My lung functions are good. My heart rate is steady. My hands are shaking. I get up early at 5, put on all my race gear, and I start doing all my stretches pre-race. I see my girlfriend, she's still sleeping, so she's going to meet me at the finish line for the race she wanted to do. I kiss her goodbye, and I head out. I walk down the hall of the hotel room, and I go towards the elevator. I'm all alone. I'm scared, very nervous. I get in the elevator, hit the button, and I go down 1 floor. The doors open, and a girl walks in next to me, also dressed in race gear. Makes me feel a little bit better. I put on my power songs, something to calm my nerves. I get to the bottom floor and I walk out of the elevator. 4 more people dressed in race gear join me. This is pretty cool. I walk out the door and turn the corner. Now we're in Center City, Philadelphia, if you guys are familiar with it. I make a left turn headed down towards the Philadelphia Art Museum, which is where those big rocky steps are. And I look around now, there's 10 people joining me. My music gets a little bit louder. Go a little bit further, the next block, now I see 100 people. By the time I'm 3 blocks away, there are thousands of people all over the place joining me for in the same exact endeavor, running this marathon. Makes me feel great. Really empowering experience. Lots of people, lots of fans, and everyone's just really pushing you to overcome your struggles and to finish this race. So now we start the process of waiting about an hour and a half until the race actually starts. So we're sitting in our race corrals and just stretching, kind of going through the motions. It's a lot of time to think. Do I want to back out of this? It's not too late to go. I could just walk right out. The announcer comes on and he elucidates the details of the race. So I decide I'm going for it, obviously. We get excited and I'm starting to stretch, and before you know it, I hear the announcer say, 3, 2, 1, go! Yells go and everyone starts running. It's a while before I get to the starting line because there are 34,000 people running this race. A lot of people. So we're running and time goes by and I hit the 12th mile. I feel good. Done a half marathon before, no problem. I'm running a good pace, 8.5 minute mile. This is exactly what I want to do for the rest of the marathon. A little ambitious, but I was going for it. The streets come alive with people, fans, family, everyone with signs and posters, yelling, screaming, music, clapping, cheering. And it's one of the most powerful feelings you can possibly feel. Forget about work, forget about stress, forget about dating, relationships, any of that. It all melts away and all you have to focus on is the physical body. It takes you outside of the mental world and puts you actually in a physical state where you feel that you could take on the world. Until about mile 15 or 16, I start to slow down. People are still cheering you on, have interesting signs, motivational things, some going as far as some people having signs saying, you know, pain now, wine later, W-I-N-E, and others having signs that say, I hope you don't have to poop. To move forward, gets to mile 18 and I feel a searing pain in my knee. I keep pushing forward. Mile 22 and I'm slowing down a lot. Mile 23 and I could have swore that I already hit mile 24. I start to see the flag for mile 25 and I swear that they definitely extended where they put the flags. They're messing up the distances on these. And I'm at a pace where I'm just kind of trugging along and I know if I stop running, I won't start again. I see a boy sitting down, a younger boy, and he is on his knees just kind of rubbing his calf. It looks like he's just massaging his calf. He goes to get up, I see him fall right back down. His struggle with this race is over, but I have a little bit more to go. I see the finish line at mile 26 and I'm 0.2 miles away from the finish and I start bolting. It takes every piece of energy to just go for it. It's exciting and invigorating, and as we run back towards the starting point of those Philadelphia Art Museum rocky stairs, I am booking towards the finish line. I finally pass, feeling a rush of success and relief rush over me, and my legs, I feel like a baby deer when I stop running. And I kind of wobbling towards the finish line. I see my girlfriend wave to her. She's chanting and clapping and waving at me. And as I walk towards the end of the finish line corral, I bow my head down. I get the medal wrapped around my neck, and the race officiator who did that said, "Welcome to the 1%." Thank you very much.
Wow, I really enjoyed Mike's speech.